Annie. Today I'm gonna do a fun, glowy summer look. Before we get started, and as I'm putting on my Chanel Le Blanc primer, please make sure that you click that button below, hit the subscribe button. I share new videos every single week. And also make sure you click on the notification bell, because anytime I share a new video, you'll be notified. If you don't, you will never see me again because I won't show up in your feed. So make sure that you do that. I know I follow a lot of channels. Oh, make sure you also follow me on Instagram. And there's also a notification bell on there as well. There's the 3 dots. So when you go up to my page and there's those 3 dots, you click on that. And then if it says notifications on, make sure you click that on, because I am seeing in my feed, I see like people I don't even know and follow all the time, you know? It's so annoying the way they do the feed. So make sure that you do that, otherwise you're not gonna see me. It's just another place that we can connect. I show more like behind the scenes photos. I don't always show makeup. I just kind of show a little bit of my life, little bits and pieces and stuff like that. So please make sure you follow along. Always leave me a comment, I always get back to you guys. All right, so let's get into it. Today, I thought it would be fun to do a look using my Norvina palette and my Soft Glam. So I'm gonna do some colors with each of those. So if you have either of those, you can do this with me. If you don't have them, then you can use similar colors. First, I'm gonna go, so I've already done my primer and I've gotta do my under eyes. I've already done my brows, by the way, and I just shared another fun way to do brows, so make sure that you check out that video. One thing that really helps give you a nice glow, and I just started using this and I really, really love it, is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Flawless Filter. I love this. One thing I don't like, and I will be honest, I don't like the applicator. I think the applicator's stupid. I wish it would have been a pump, just being real with you. This is how I use it. I just take the applicator and I'm gonna put it on pretty much all over except for my nose. My nose just gets so oily that I just don't like to. I know it looks like I'm putting on a lot, but I'm only using one swipe. Then I'm gonna take my foundation. I am using the Perfection Luminaire Velvet by Chanel. I really love this foundation because it's really, really light. I don't like really heavy foundations. I might try some other foundations, but this and the Sports Eyeshadow BB cream are my 2 like holy grails right now. So I just take my Chanel on my beauty blender and I just dab it like that all over. I have to be careful because I did my brows. And you don't want to get your brows. Just dab it all around. Like that. Always make sure that you're blending in your foundation really, really well. See already how I've got like a nice little glow going on? It's not sparkly, it's not shimmery, it's really, really pretty. I'm gonna be very careful up here. Now I'm gonna go on the other side and do the same thing. So I'm gonna take a little bit of foundation. I don't use that much. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. I use very little. I don't use a ton of foundation. I really don't. This gives really, really good coverage and it lasts pretty good for me throughout the day. I still get some shine. I'm in Florida, it's humid here, but I don't feel like my face looks like it's melting off. So I really, really love this foundation. So I'm just getting right in here. I always put sunscreen on. I do have sunscreen underneath. Even if you're using a foundation that has sunscreen, please make sure you're using sunscreen because you're not really getting the full benefits of the sunscreen when it's mixed in. So I always do. And I also have a powder that I touch up my makeup throughout the day that has a sunscreen. I'm gonna be trying some other sunscreen powders soon as well. So just make sure you blend that in. Like a little, there we go. See how pretty that is though? It's really, really, really pretty. Now I am gonna go in and use my concealer. I just like this one. It's my Kat Von D. I've been using it for several years. It just really touches up really nicely for me. I always have a little bit of redness there. Actually, I have a little bit right there, so I'm just gonna put a dot there. which I usually don't like to put a liquid there, but sometimes the powder doesn't touch it up enough. And I'll just get it here. And I use very little, as you saw, very little. I don't go crazy with concealers under my eyes. I see people do that. They do this big triangle and it's like, I can't do that. Plus I like a lighter look. I have to tell you, I was at Epcot maybe a month ago, and there was a girl, and she was such a pretty girl, but oh my gosh, she had so much makeup on. She kind of looked like maybe she watches a beauty guru on YouTube. The thing of it is, some of those younger gurus, you have to remember, they're putting a lot of makeup on, but they are under lights in a studio. I don't know what they look like in person as far as their makeup, but I just want to look as natural as possible. I don't want to look like, wow, girl, you got a lot of makeup on. You know what I mean? And maybe that's the look with younger girls, but I just think that as we age, I just think that ages you too if you have too much on. So you see how nice and glowy that is? I still like to put a little bit of powder on. Now you saw I used the dual finish on my nose because if I use any liquid, it'll just melt off. So I use this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter or Airbrush Filter Powder. I love it. And I just use a little bit. I take my powder puff. I don't want a lot because I want to keep that glow, but I just feel like I need a little bit just to set it. So I just put a little bit on. That's all I do. And you can still see that I have a nice glow underneath. Then I'm going to go in and I need to add a little bit of warmth to my face. And this also helps give me a little bit more structure to my cheekbones. So I'm using my Chanel bronzer and I just will stamp it on like this. Sometimes I will brush it on and sometimes I'll stamp it on. You can do it either way. Just put it on right there, put some on right here. Now if you don't have your forehead showing, obviously you don't have to do that part. I'm just gonna wipe my brush off a little bit. And then I want to just blend it out a little bit. But see how it gave me some warmth and gave my cheeks some structure? Another thing that I don't do very often anymore is I don't do a lot of contouring, but sometimes I will take this and I will just tap it in here with the same brush. I'll just kind of smush the brush up a little bit. And I will apply it like this. Now, if you don't want to get the Chanel brush, you just want to look for a brush that's angled like this. That's what I like. It's a puffy, it's poofy, kind of poofy-ish brush, but it's got that nice angle. So it just fits by your cheeks really, really nicely. That's what I like about it. And then I'll just do this. So I'm not contouring, but it seems like I am sort of. So I'm putting just a little bit on the sides here and on the tip of my big ass nose. I'm gonna go in with blush, and I'm a big Chanel blush wearer. I'm gonna try some other ones, but I feel like when I have makeup to use up, I don't want to keep buying stuff either. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can relate. So I'm gonna go in with my blush, and I am using Rose Initiale. I don't know why I talk like that. I'm using Rose Initiale. It's really, really pretty. This blush lasts a long time. I think I bought this last summer and I still looks like I didn't even make a dent in it. I use it every day. So keep that in mind with some of the high-end products. I'm not saying all, but some of the high-end products do last longer, in my opinion. I have that with my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I'm just gonna blend that out a little bit more. I want a softer look. I find that with my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, I just find that there's things that last a little bit longer. Even my eyeshadows. I have been using this palette almost every day, except now I've been starting to use this one more. And I bought this, I think, when did it come out? April or something like that? I don't remember. I've used a lot. And you can see I have a lot of color left. So just always keep that in mind when you're purchasing things. I just find that, you know, I'm not saying every luxury brand is, you know, like great, and it isn't. But I do think a lot of them last longer, in my opinion. So I'm just taking my color switch and I'm just cleaning my brush off. I'm gonna go in with my Sephora 19. I'm gonna go right into the crease. And for that, I think I'm gonna use this palette here. I'm gonna go in, or should I use this one? No. I'm gonna go in with the color base actually. I'm gonna start there. This is my Norvina palette. So I'm gonna start out with base. Then I'm gonna go in with this color here, and this is burnt orange. And remember, with these shadows, that's all I do. That's all I do. You don't have to go in there and, you know, swirl your brush around because you're just wasting product. Now I'm going to go in with incense, and again, just like that. This eye is definitely more hooded than the other. Now I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics brush, blending brush, and I'm just going to blend that really good. I really like a nice blended eye. Now I'm going to take my Sigma E45 brush. I'm going to use the color Volatile. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't have my reading glasses on, so I hope I'm saying these colors right. I'm just going to take it right like that. See, this is what's nice about this brush. See how it just, it's like you're taking, like you're taking a paintbrush and you're putting it right on your canvas, which is your eye. I always feel like I'm contouring my eyes when I'm doing that. When I'm using this darker shadow on the corner, and I don't go crazy. You could see I didn't go crazy. And then I just blend that really, really well. Something that I just started incorporating back into my routine is my glitter glue from Too Faced. So sometimes I use my MAC Prep and Prime, my MAC Fix. I'm going to use this today, and you just need a tiny bit. So I'm just taking the tiniest, I don't even think you can see it on camera, it's so tiny. I mean, it's a tiny little dot. And I just take my pinky and I apply it. Now, if you have really long fingernails, then you can use a little brush, like a flat brush, and you can apply it that way too. And I always just like to tap it on. And you only want to apply it where you're going to put your shadow. And this is just something that I do when I'm using a glitter or a shimmer or something like that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my other pinky. I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. Notice that I'm wearing a sweater today. I live in Florida and it's beautiful outside, but sometimes I get chilly in the house. I didn't think I'd be wearing sweaters here, but I do wear sweaters sometimes. And this is my Barefoot Dreams. Yeah. So I will be wearing my Barefoot Dreams cardigans here, and they're still on sale at the Nordstrom sale. So make sure you pick one up. Dazzling, which is in the Norvina palette. Dazzling. And I am going to take my brush and I am just going to place it in there just like that. I'm going to tap it off in case there's any extra glitter, and I'm just going to apply it. I just want like a soft little shimmery look. I don't want anything over the top, and I'm just pressing it in. And I'm going a little bit over, almost to the end there. See how pretty that is? It just gives a nice, it just makes my eyes look a little bit more awake. That's why I like to use shimmers, because I just feel like they kind of make you, just like how we use a little bit of, we want a little glow on our face. It's nice to have a little glow in your eyes. I know some people don't like to use shimmers, but if you use something really light like this, it really is pretty. This is actually my brush that I use under my eyes, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But before I do that, you know, kind of smoke it out a little bit, I am going to go in and I am going to use Dreamer. We'll see what that's like. Make sure I tap out. I just want to put a little bit right here in the corner. Just a little bit, just to brighten my eyes up a little bit more. It's real subtle. Right there. It's kind of, so it's kind of right by my tear duct. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use that Volatile color again. I'm going to stick my brush in there like this. And I'm gonna go right on my lash line. Do that again. Right on my lash line. It's a nice way to line my eyes without it looking too harsh. Now I'm gonna use my E55 and I am gonna go in with base and I'm just gonna get it right on the tip there. Tap it off. And I just want to get a little bit right here, right underneath my brow. I'm just going to be really careful. It's just going to lift my eye up a little bit more and just, it's kind of highlights my brow. So I'm not getting it all on here. I'm just like getting a little bit right under my brow. Now I'm going to go in and line my eyes. With my Kat Von D liner, tattoo liner. I'm stretching my eye up a little bit here too. I really want to get it as close to my lash line as possible. Now I am going to take my eyeliner and I'm using my Chanel eyeliner and I'm going to go right underneath that. Use my eye primer. And while this is sitting on, I'm going to go ahead and apply my lipstick. I'm going to use my Pillow Talk. I'm going to go ahead and use my Tom Ford lipstick in the color Spiced Honey. I want to make sure I said that right. One of my new favorite colors. Then I'm going to go over it with just a tad bit of my Marc Jacobs Sugar. I just like a little bit of gloss. YSL on the bottom because I want to use this up. Before I finish, one thing I always do, I don't share this in every video, is I usually like to wear a perfume of the day. So my perfume of the day today, I don't know if I've shared this on my channel yet, is the Miss Dior. I purchased this at Disney. I'm going to show you close up because I don't think I shared this. This is my bottle. Do you see that? So it was hand engraved, or I guess engraved or whatever, the castle, and it just says dreams come true. So I wanted this. I saw that they did this in Epcot. You can't buy it like this. You have to go to Epcot and they will engrave whatever you want on it. But they had one like this and I'm like, I need that because moving to Florida, my dreams did come true. So anyways, I love this perfume. It's kind of like a little bit on the sweet side. So if you don't like sweet perfumes, you're not gonna like this. Kind of reminds me of the Prada Candy. It's really, really pretty. So that is the perfume that I'm gonna wear today. Love this perfume. So anyways, that's me finishing it off. I don't always use a setting spray. Very rarely do I. I probably should, but I'm just gonna be honest. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't use it. So that is it. That is my glowy summer look. I don't always use those exact colors. I just like to do earthy tones like this. I always like to have a shimmer because I think a shimmer, if you add just a little bit of shimmer right there, I just feel like it's more youthful. Just like adding a glow to our skin looks more youthful. So loving this so much. Would definitely recommend it. And pick up one of these cardigans before they disappear. My earrings are from Nordstrom as well. Those are on sale. So if you've been asking me, I know a lot of you guys ask me about my jewelry, pick these up before they go up. It's still worth it. Full price is worth it because that's what I paid, but totally worth the splurge to pick them up. They look real. They look like real diamonds. I love it. I wear them every single day. If I'm not wearing these, then I'm wearing my Bauble Bar hoops. I just have my favorites with my earrings, and like you'll see me. If you meet me, you probably will see these earrings. And then I'm wearing my Bauble Bar, I think it's the Clear Y chain. I will try to make sure to link that below. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Before you go, just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, watching my videos, supporting me. It means so, so much to me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Click on the notification in Instagram. It's those 3 dots. You can click on that and you'll see my posts come through. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys real soon.